just playing.
No shoes and.
But man, shit, I can breathe now. That's helpful. All right, man. We're back. So you have hustled like for many, many years, man. It's like so already like at like an early age of like ninth or sophomore year. Like you were always like for like hustling. Like uh shit. And it was almost like, yo, this man's like always working, man. Like, what's up? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, man, let's hoop. You know what I'm saying? And it was
Right.
always like, it was us like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with this man? Like, he's always
Yeah.
freaking busy and everything. And it's like, it seemed freaking whack, but look what happened. Look what happened now.
Right.
That this man's a hustler. Like, and he's like he's shit ahead of us. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a grind.
Yeah.
Like, how do you have that and how did it happen? It was all your mom, right? Because it's like it's nothing handed, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I give a lot of props to my mom because she's always been hard on me, and since I see my mom do it, like become successful in her own right.
Yeah.
And she's always been like working and working and working and working. Doesn't mean like I wanted that lifestyle because
it's a hard life.
Yeah, like I would say like she didn't really enjoy as much as she should have with her like success. And hopefully I can help her have the opportunity to like travel the world and stuff like that with me helping her with the business and stuff like that. But I mean, overall for me, I would say yeah, like my mom's. I mean, I started working when I was 12, so
12 years old.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, started working when I was 12.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, so I could tell you that story whenever, but yeah, I started working when I was 12, so I always helped my uncle out, working at the swap shop and stuff like that when I was 12. But me growing into like my older years, like in high school, you gotta remember like when we would have summer vacation, winter vacation, spring.
Yeah.
I would never be able to be like, yo, let's go play ball during the day because I was in my mom's office like
Yeah.
all those vacations. I dreaded it and I hated it because I couldn't really enjoy like, oh,
Yeah, growing up.
yeah, I couldn't really enjoy growing up, like going to play basketball or going to like, go down the street and go watch a movie, like just simple stuff, that we could walk to pretty much. But at the end of the day, like it did, I get now why she was preparing me for it. It's like, I go into any job, I learn quick, I'm fast, it's helped me like be very progressive. Like any job I go to, like I move up in position very quickly because, I've seen that environment since I was a kid. And now like when I go and work anywhere, it's like, it's pretty easy for me. Even when I was, 2-3 years ago, same thing. But it's I would say it's hard. And a lot of people probably can agree with me that when you are doing your own hustle, you're working in your own, and I told you this, and you're like your own business, like you're a business person, or you want to be like on quote unquote, what everyone wants to be as an entrepreneur, like that thing. The journey to become a business owner and do your own thing is a very lonely path because, like you just said, oh, yo, let's go hang out, let's go do this, and I'm working because it's either I sacrifice a day to go hang out or I lose a day of taking the next step in my life in finances and being in a better situation. So, I'm not saying right now like I'm well off financially because I'm not, because you should know like in business, if you do the things the right way, it takes a few years for you to become, to where everybody sees on social media, like, oh yeah, they live comfortable, whatever. Just like when you go to school for 4 or 5 years,
the fruits of your labor.
Yeah, but it takes
right away
a year, 2-3 years to get to that salary that you want to. If you add it up, it's 7-8 years. Same thing with business. So yeah, I mean, how I keep that mentality is hard. I can't lie. I can't lie. It's really hard. I use a lot of mantras. Like I use a lot of Kobe's mantras as well. Of him, like, I used to watch a lot of his videos to kind of like motivate me. of him like being the first one in the gym, last one out, working hard because he wasn't as talented as other like gifted as like maybe LeBron. You just go in there just like a
Yeah,
monster,
right.
So Kobe had to keep working at it to perfect his game. So I kind of like drilled that in my head a lot to keep myself motivated, because in this type of lifestyle you can be unmotivated very quickly because
Really easily.
yeah,
Oh
because
my
if you
God,
don't
it's
see
crazy.
any like
Yeah,
you
results. Yeah, like
exactly
man. Immediate
you're just
results. Like
like
like this right here is like it's a blessing. Like it's all real
right,
and all that. And I'm hoping like it blows up. Like not blows up like millions, but like like a nice size where like like I'm like making
yeah,
some money off of
yeah,
it.
you do what you
But
love and you're making money.
like it's like it's really a process. Like right now it's like 0 views. Like or like a few.
Right.
But it's like that's just how it is. Like it's regular. It's like
Exactly.
it's rookie. Like I'm a
Yeah.
rookie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's rookie year. That's
You're
it.
you're
It's
starting.
normal. Yeah, exactly. That's just how it is.
Yeah, you're starting and
Perseverance.
you gotta be yeah, it's perseverance, and you gotta be like dedicated, and you gotta keep find a way to keep the love for what you're doing, even
Yes,
though if you don't see
exactly.
a dollar from it
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning. And that's what, because God sets the things in place for you. So if he sees you doing this and you put your 100% into it, you never know, like a year or 2 years on the road, it will all pay off,
Right.
and that's what I keep in my head all the time. It's like, okay, let me do these things the right way, and maybe something bad happens on the way there, and then that can just dismotivate anybody.
Yeah.
But then I tell myself, it's like, I'm already blessed for what I have, but I'm not too far away from my goals. So let me just keep going and maybe re-strategize and do things a little bit better. So that's always been like my thing, and I've always liked being kind of like an underdog. Like even when even when I play basketball, you remember how dedicated I was to that. Like I was playing basketball. Remember we went to the gym one time when we used to go to Tamarack
Eric.
at the rec center,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Yo, come with me in the morning." And I think we shot like 50 shots per like the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our arms were gonna fall off that morning. It was like early, and then Vince was like, "Boy, yeah, boy, I let you inside the gym, man."
Yo, whatever happened to him? Is he all right? Like, is he at Iraq
I don't think he's.
or he's already retired?
I don't think he's there anymore. I mean, pretty sure he looks the same. That man looks the same for the last like 20 years, but
He's healthy, man. He seems pretty he was always like really slender. You know
yeah,
what I'm
he
saying?
was. Yeah, and he was, and that job keeps you active. So
Yeah, absolutely. He's
you
always moving and whatnot.
but yeah, like exactly, like the thing I was there, and
It's pretty similar to me because it's like we were always heavy set. That's how
right,
we were. So like in hooping, for in baseball. Oh, he's fat. You know what I'm saying? But bro, man. Shit, bro. You know me. I was always flying, man. The
I know.
fastest, bro. I was the fastest one out of the slender, in shape.
Yep, you're
boys.
faster than me.
I was flying past.
You used to race and you used to always beat me.
Yeah, man. Bro, I beat plenty of fucking people, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, man. Soccer players and whatnot. And he's no, because this happened. Nah, nothing happened, bro. I've I flew past you.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
Yeah, you were. You didn't look fast, but you were fast.
Yeah, and freaking and hooping. We was all right. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
Nothing crazy, but we were hoopers, bro.
Yeah,
We were pretty nice, man.
I kind of reminisce. I miss those days because the stuff that when I was super skinny, because I used to play basketball. I eat
Right.
once a day
Mm-hmm.
and play basketball for the rest of the day. That was my thing. Every day I would play
Yeah.
basketball. So I was always super skinny, and and I remember I remember all the times I played ball, and the crazy stuff I would do, shoot from super far.
Bro, hell yeah, mad shots. Crazy.
I'll be falling
and
down,
handles and whatnot.
handles, falling down, making shots, everything, and when I played that, I was like, this is what I want to do. And when I want to do something, I'm super focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just, obviously I was a kid, and every kid dreams or whatever. So, but it's in my bucket list of that I want to do something involving basketball again,
Mm-hmm.
in the near future. Not play basketball, but to be involved within the sport. That's a future goal of mine.
Really?
When I'm 33 or so.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But how though? Like what exactly?
I want to
Like
open my own.
manage like a rec league or something like that?
No, not even. I want to actually like build my own gym, like basketball gym,
Oh really?
and
Okay,
have
okay.
the EK logo in the middle of the
Yeah.
gym and rent the gym out.
You could have like raffles or something out, like or something. Like like whoever wins
Yeah.
has like some free shoes or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like my goal. Well, initially, like I work in since I work in mental health. A lot of my like, for example, elevate kicks. It's gonna be like also my goal with that is to actually open and like have a few stores depending on like see how the economy goes next year.
Yeah.
Have a few stores to open. Like now we have the showroom. It's just like a tester, but my main focus is to contribute back to the mental health community. So that's what Elevate Kicks is gonna do, and then eventually when I put my gym, it's gonna be like a place where we can develop teams, like have cities come by, and underprivileged kids can get like a free pair of shoes. They'll be sponsored by Elevate Kicks. Like it's gonna be like my brand, and pretty much help the kids like that don't have the opportunity or the finances to pay $100 to play for a rec league team. You
Yeah.
know, because the family doesn't have those finances. But you never know, that kid might be the next like NBA player, might be the next NFL player.
You never know.
So eventually I want to make that like a thing. But that comes back to the mindset is how to keep yourself driven to keep doing things, So
God also.
exactly, you gotta keep
Yeah.
God 1st.
I'm gonna
That's
let me ask you that. Like how did it all happen? Like how did you like find religion? Because you didn't really have it, growing up.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, one, I grew up kind of like Catholic, so
Yeah, likewise. It's interesting. It's like, what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't know.
yo,
I don't know
it's just
what that
practice in our
means.
countries. Like it's
You know
like a
what I'm saying?
Spanish thing. I think, to be honest, like every country like that speaks the I think language of Spanish.
It's almost like it's just like a name.
Yeah.
You know,
And, I mean, and
Catholic.
the thing
What
is,
does that mean?
I couldn't even really. I mean, I haven't really, I know like Catholic religion is like a lot different from. I noticed, and you guys can quote me if I'm wrong with this. I don't know. Like I'm still like learning, but like when I used to go to Catholic church, bro, I used to fall asleep,
I can't lie. It's boring, man.
and
Is what?
the seats are very uncomfortable.
It's wooden seats, right?
Yeah,
It's like the
is.
benches.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and I'm a kid. Like I probably did have ADHD when I was smaller, because I remember I'll be on the seats like spinning in circles because I could not like focus on what was going on.
Yeah.
So I used to like, get really like my butt would itch because I was like, I can't sit down. Like I can't sit down. I was always moving. So my mom would always go to take me there to the Catholic church, and then my aunt, when my mom couldn't pick me up from when she used to work overnight, I would stay with my aunt. So I'll leave with her after work, and she'd take me to a Christian church. And remember, I was only like 8 years old, so I don't really know what's going on. I'm just going to a church like with kids to hang out, because she has to go there for service. So I'll go there, and I was exposed to a Christian church around 8 years old, 9 years old, and then from there, when I had to spend the day with her is when I will end up in a Christian church again, for whatever reason. So, fast forward, years later, like past high school, because I wasn't really into that. Like in high school, I was very into like I would say more like the world mainly, like
worldly music and
yeah,
just
like secular music
normal,
and like fashion, like just that type of lifestyle I was more into, and like I wanted, I would say, in a sense, but because that's just
normal.
it's a normal thing for people to go through. So I think like last year, so when I opened Elevate Kicks in 2019, any resellers out there, you go to meetups, you go buy shoes from other people.
It's always risky.
It's always risky. And the two, or the one of the main ones I will never forget. I'll never forget this guy is so I had a meetup in Parkland, and when I GPSed it, it was like those houses on the dirt roads, and it was like near like an open field, and I was like, damn.
That's crazy.
I was like, if I pull up, like I try to Google Map it. You know, you can see like the Google
Yeah, yeah,
Maps.
yeah.
So I tried to pull it. It was at nighttime. So he was like, and I had to buy some. You probably put a picture of it. So Nike Dunks off white, one of the lots. I think it was like lot 9, and I was buying inventory for SneakerCon.
Hmm.
So I was like, I had to buy up. I bought like 10 of them.
Yeah.
I was dropping like 500, 350, like per pair,
Wow.
and because I knew I was gonna flip them for 600, like a pop, because that's what the market was gonna go for. So I texted him like, hey, look, I'm here, and I was like, can you meet at Wendy's down the street? Because I
Okay.
was scared to go over there. I was like, nah, I can fight. Like I'm in my head, I'm like, yeah, I can fight, but how can I run away? Because there's only a one way road. The road is not like two split lanes. Only one way to go in and one way to come out.
Okay.
So I was like, damn, I can back up. It's super dark. Like I don't know if it's like my car's gonna fall in a ditch. So I was like, damn, you never know. Like, and I have cash. So because he asked me, are you paying cash or Zelle or whatever? I was like, I'm paying cash. So um, I told him, hey, can you meet me at Wendy's? He was like, no, I can't. I'm already home, and I can't leave. So I was like, you know what? All right, whatever, man. Let me go. I can fight. I'm not a small guy, so I'll be good. I don't got to worry about it. So I go and I pull up to like this big house. I wouldn't say a big house. I would say it's an older home, but it had like a 4-car garage, super big lot of land. So it's kind of those farm like open ranch style homes in Parkland.
Yeah.
And I get into the gate, so he lets me into the gate. I arrive and I park. So it was like a white guy, and then he comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, it was a size 12. I'm not a size 12." So he goes like, "Oh, these are for you." I was like, "No, I usually like, buy and resell." He's like, "Oh, really?" And then he kind of tells me he does the same thing too, like, but he does it with different items. Like I think like furniture and purses and stuff like that. He resells. So he kind of tells me his story. We kind of like click, we kind of like have a conversation. And then he randomly asked me, he's like, "Can I pray for you?" And I was just like, "Yeah, sure." Like, okay. So he grabs me by my shoulder and then he prays over me. He's like, and I remember the prayer. He was like, "Lord, I have Bryan here, da da da." And he does like a whole prayer over me. And I started tearing up a little bit because the amount of sacrifice I was like, amount of trial and tribulation I was going through with my other business and this business, Elevate, it's sacrifice. You sacrifice a lot to be where you are in whatever position, even if it's in your beginning stages. You sacrifice a lot. Like, it's just how life is. And I'm the type of person where I don't sit down and be like, damn, man, I sacrifice so much. No, like when I do something, it's just like me going forward, like
Yeah.
nonstop. So like that moment, I kind of set in to realize, and he was like, I want to bless your company and your future endeavors and everything else. He's like, keep my number if you need anything, and and then he's like, are you a Christian? And I'm like, I am. And and then he said, look, if you need anything, just let me know. And then that prayer happened, what he did over me at a random night. I think it was 11 o'clock at night.
But he bought the shoes though.
No, I bought the shoes.
Oh, you bought the
So I was
shoes.
buying the
Okay.
shoes off of him. And they were real. Like he hit on sneakers, so he came up on like profit, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, so that was that one time, and then the second time,
With my fault.
yeah,
It's just mad. Like it's pretty funny in my head because like it just sounds like, oh shit, he robbed Brian or something,
right,
and
right,
then and he just ends up praying for you. I'm like, oh,
yeah, literally,
okay,
yeah, literally.
yeah.
That's what I was
Like it
like.
just went like whole sideways.
Yeah, it went left. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I didn't expect it either.
yeah.
You know, but that was the second time somebody prayed for me, like out of the random. Like
Okay.
I don't know him. Like
Mm.
we messaged on OfferUp. I pulled up, bought a pair of shoes, and he did a prayer. And then I think there was another moment that happened as well. I don't fully recall when or what happened, but it was like another prayer over me too. And then I kind of like sat in my car and I was just like, um, maybe I probably do need to like, maybe things in my life are not going well, and my business is not succeeding in certain aspects because my focus or my heart's somewhere else. So
Right.
and it took me a while to think because I'm like, I'm not a perfect person, and I'm not, I have a lot of flaws. Like nobody's perfect, so I have a lot of flaws. So should I was like kind of scared to go to church because also, I didn't have really good experiences in church. People were always, it's like they're trying to recruit you.
Yeah.
And I don't like people who like kind of like pressure me to do things because I like to do things at my own pace. Um, so, but I told myself, you know what? Let me go to church. Um, and it was crazy because when I decided to go to church back in January of this year, I go my first time, and then fam, he was also starting to go back again around that same time too.
Yeah.
So which is pretty crazy because I was like, damn, that's weird that he's probably been out of it for so many years,
He has been.
and I have been out of it for such a long time, and then coincidentally we start going around the same time. Go back to church, and I feel like I needed it. Overall, uh, it made me open my eyes a little bit more. Started reading more. Little by little, like the Bible and stuff like that. Um, and yeah, like I started changing my habits on music, as you've seen. Like my playlist is more like Christian music now. It's not. It's I still have secular music on there, but it's mainly like for me not to enjoy on a daily basis. Is me like if somebody else is in my car, then obviously I'm not gonna push down their throat like Christian music. So I let them listen to whatever I have else I have on my playlist, but I'm not up to date with like these artists and stuff like that nowadays. I mainly it's my Christian music, and that's kind of like and now I'm on that journey to keep you know um pursuing my faith and building a close relationship with God. That's like my main goal because God, He's number one. But at the same time, like it's like a huge difference in the feeling. Once you're pursuing that, I feel a bit lighter sometimes when doing prayers as well. Like it's like a feeling that not many people I think can explain unless you go through it. But it's like a really good feeling. And I think like He can only give you that feeling of like relief, because and I think that's a big thing too. Like when you are in this world consumes you with like money, there's so many different like things around you that can consume you. And my objective back then was like, damn, I want like a big house. I want this, I want that. And now it's more of like you won't even see me wearing like anything like expensive. Like I wear like my regular clothes. I don't want to even be wearing like super expensive. I don't like spend money on designer stuff. Like I don't
Yeah.
do any of that stuff.
It's not worth it, and it's
It's
not
not.
even like it's not all that. Like
Exactly.
it's like let's just say it's a black shirt, a- and it just says like white words, Balenciaga,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's like what
$800.
Yeah,
or
a
whatever.
few $100. Like what the hell is this?
I'm like,
You know what I'm saying?
you can open with $800. You can open an LLC. You can open a company. You can invest in your first product and
Exactly.
triple your money.
Yeah, man. Be smart with it. Like, bro, these clothes, man. I haven't shopped in so long. Now these have holes in it, but these have holes in it because of your dog. Though I'm not gonna lie. Look at that. That's all Thor. Yo, what's up with his nails, bro? Clip his nails,
I
son.
know. He has like I actually just clipped his like one of his hands and he like pulled his paw. So I'm like, damn, I gotta like.
I would clip one nail.
No, I trimmed like the bottom foot ones.
Yeah.
He lets me, but when I get to like that pinky one,
Yeah,
is when he
that's
starts
already.
like, and that's the one that grows like the quickest.
Yeah.
I gotta trim that one too, but I get scared. So
All right, so my fault. Brought up the clothes or whatever, designer clothes.
Mhm.
So, yeah, as you were saying.
yeah, so like yeah, pretty much like I don't really kind of like go after like the designer stuff. Like I don't really care for that lifestyle, to be honest. I like to try to humble myself as much as I can.
Yeah.
Like, I like my cars, obviously, but it's not even like, oh yeah, let me go buy a Lamborghini. Like I want a Lamborghini. No, I don't want that type of stuff either. It's just
Right.
like I like to be comfortable, and I like to be live a comfortable lifestyle. But yeah, like uh, going to the Christianity religion, it's like, I grew up probably like a lot of other people kind of have their opinions on certain religions. I don't really have a thing about any specific religion. But my faith is there, and it's just a journey that I have,
Yeah.
and I'm happy like the people I have that kind of like support it, and people who are also coming with that journey, along with me, like having Les like, also pull up, it's different like now, like people will probably say like, oh, let's go to a bar, let's go hang out, let's get drunk, da da da, like on a Sunday or Saturday night, and stay home and you fall asleep and you wake up the next day like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll have a drink or two, like a casual drinker. I'm like, I don't drink like that, and we probably do the same thing. But now it's different. Now we're like, yo, let's start a church on Sunday, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like it's things like that and I enjoy it. I love going. I
Yeah.
love being service Sundays. Um, you
Yeah,
know,
it's really helped me out also, man. Like it just happened randomly because like I've been having issues for like a while now, like and I'm like usually hush on it
right,
because like 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 it's hard hearing, like and I hate like saying, oh yeah, this is happening,
right,
I just like rather solve it, and
right,
it just hit me like I've been having like issues in my head and all that, and I'm like I'm missing something. You know
right.
what I'm saying? It seems like I'm missing something,
Mm-hmm.
and like on life, like it's even hard now. Like yeah, but but it's more helpful now because I have God. Like
Right,
like it just feels like He'll resolve it. Like He can handle
right.
like all the
Lay your worries on him.
the
Right.
worries,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really helped me, man. It's really helped me because like it could really, man, it swallows you up, man, for like for sure
Yep.
in your head. Like it's all smiles and whatnot. Like yeah,
Right.
yeah, I'm all right, man. Yeah, what's up with you? Oh yeah, I'm just hanging out, man. Nothing much. But in reality, like like shit, it's like I'm suffering, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But like it helps you. You know what I'm saying? Because it just shows you like like if you persevere, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna bless you. Like,
Right.
and I'm not with them like for blessings,
No, 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 I
only,
know.
but like it's a result.
Yep. You're right. You're 100% right. Um, I think it's really important. Like especially like you're saying, like you probably went through like certain situations where you're like,
Yeah,
damn, like you know, like you going through probably everybody goes through like certain
yeah,
issues. Like and that and people, and I work in mental health, for years. So for
yeah,
me, it's like people choose other options. Like, oh, sad to say, people choose like to hurt themselves or
yeah.
take
Smoking weed and
take drugs.
alcohol,
Yeah, like
sex and
to
all that and whatnot.
relieve
Just
like the
yeah,
pain
yeah,
and like forget about it for that moment. Um, and yeah, and I'm saying like none of us are perfect, and it's like we never will be. You know. But we have to be the best versions of ourselves, and also take away the bad habits. I think that's a thing too. And whatever you go through is do a prayer and pray about it, and God will resolve and show you signs of where you should go next and what you should do next.
yeah,
And I think that's like really big. Um, and when you're doing business too, like money can be like a lot of your main like focus. Like, yeah, I want the money, I want the money. And that can lead to like different things. So and I always think about it too. I'm like, damn, a lot of people I know like are business owners and they have all this money, but they use it for stupid stuff. Like that I like, and I sometimes I question myself and I'll doubt it, and it's a bad thing. It's like, damn, why am I not that successful? Why don't I have that amount of money?
yeah,
Because I wouldn't do what he's doing with that money. I would do something very positive with that money. But at the same time, it's not my time.
yeah.
So
It's not your road.
it's not.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
it's
we
not
all
like
have like a different road. It's like like I know like some people like who moved out like at 20 years old
right,
already. Like and it hurts me. I'm like, oh man, I like I haven't like moved out yet or whatever. Like
right,
at a at like a later age, but it's all right. Like we all have like our own roads. It's like
exactly,
it's not like right or wrong. It's just like it's a it's a different route.
right.
And it is what it is.
I mean, yeah, I would say so. You know, like I told you earlier, we can't compare ourselves to people. We're not. We're gonna like torment
And I have
ourselves
moved out, but
every single day.
sort of went back. But okay,
I mean,
now what's
yeah,
up? Yeah, for like a while. All right,
that was like a dip.
yeah, all right, my fault. You know, um, eh, like and it's a huge issue like with social media, also because it's like like I've seen, like vloggers or whatever, like or rappers and actors look like like it's all a flex. I'm all happy, yo, like I'm flying here, I'm flying over there,
Right.
but in reality, it's all an act, man. You know
Right.
how I realized also,
Mhm.
because I knew someone, right?
Uh huh.
And his social media is mad lit. Like like he's flying over here. Like he's mad lit. He like
He's over here.
yeah, yeah. And I was hanging out with him.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, bruh, hey man, you lit, man. And like it looks hella happy. On social media, it's all smiles.
Right.
And like and at the beach and having alcohol.
Uh huh.
And he's like, oh yeah, no, I'm actually depressed. And that has
Wait.
it's always
He talks like that.
yeah. What?
He talks like that.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, no, I'm actually like really depressed. And I'm like,
Damn.
it always hit me, man. I'm always like, oh, this shit is not real, bro.
I mean,
And
yeah.
this all act.
Yeah, Instagram is like a facade.
Yeah,
It's like a
it
fake.
is a facade. I'm like, wow.
I mean, you gotta think also too is like, why do you feel depressed? Like,
Yeah,
you know, do you like the? And it's like a sacrifice, like it says like, do you want this or do you want that? That's what I'm saying. It like now, like I'm not active on my social medias at all. I pretty much repost like just reels pretty much on my social media.
yeah,
At this point, like we talked about it earlier, I want to like redo my social media, kind of like do like a thing, but yeah, it's like I think it's key is God first, and keep them centered, and that brings you like when you're depressed, pray. When you like are sad, pray. Like those are the things too. Like don't resort to other things or try to. A lot of people do this. Like they try to act like they're like on Instagram. They try to be like they're happy because they want the attention, they want recognition from people. That could be a thing too, and they're probably just not getting it. Their life is just empty, and then also you have a lot of fake friends that are just friends with you because of the business aspect of it, but not really your friends.
yeah,
And that is a big thing too. It's sad, bro. Like, it's really sad. When you're depressed, like I'm pretty sure, like I just said, I work at mental health. When you're depressed, like it really, no matter who you are, it can just bring you down.
Yeah.
Whatever you go through. Some people go through like very like they lose somebody or whatever it is, and they go through it.
No, absolutely, man. And it's happened because, like, man, like I've hit the ground, or like at least it seemed like it.
Right.
It seemed like I'm like, bro, this is horrible. Like, bro, like it's just like wow. It's like what happened with me? Like, this is not me right now. And in my head, like that's also like a reason. Like I found God and whatnot because
Right.
it was bad. It's
Like
pretty dark.
Right, mentally. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And now I'm all right. Like, I mean, like life is not
I mean, yeah.
like
life
it's
is
not
like,
diamond.
yeah. It's
But
not
like you know what I'm saying. But it's like like in my head, it's just perseverance and
Right.
whatnot.
Right.
All right, man. Like I've held you on here for a while. We're almost wrapping up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna wrap it up with something you might hate, but it's all right. Like we could say a prayer like right after this. Like and I've heard this, but
What?
like for the show,
Uh-huh.
I feel like
I like going you.
we should hear it with the freaking audience.
No, what? No scary. Probably some scary stuff.
So yeah, so look, man. Like, you know,
I want to play some Christian music on the way home and then listen
yeah,
to my
but
Bible when I get home.
yeah, like, you know, reset, man, cleanse. You know,
This
I'm
man.
a cleanse also, but like I feel like I feel like you all need to hear it. So, man, you hate horror movies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I love freaking horror,
Yeah.
like from like a young age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
It's from my mom. It was all her. Like, when
Yeah,
she put me
'cause
on.
when I used to pull up to your crib, she used to watch all those sci-fi horror movies.
Yeah,
and I'd be
yeah.
like, and she's like enjoying it. She's like, mira eso,
Yeah, right. And it's like nothing, but you hate them. Why is that?
I mean,
Because it's all like real. Like, you know,
well, it depends
you've,
what type of horror movies you're talking about. Like,
yeah,
you're talking about like
you've, like,
Scream.
yeah,
you know, that's
explain to
not
me.
really.
Yeah, it's just slasher.
Yeah, it's like it's not really like Michael Myers stuff like that. Like, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's not really like real stuff. Like, all right. So one of the main things why I don't like watching like horror movies, I don't think it's just only horror. I think it's suspense too.
Okay.
You know, like when the like music is playing like super
Yeah.
loud, and then something just pops up. Like I
Right.
know it's coming, but for some reason I just jump. Right.
I mean, we all do.
Yeah, like I always jump, and that kind of like makes me shake, and I start getting scared. Not because I'm scared of like the
Yeah,
person
movie
in
is
the
just
movie.
the music.
It's just the music kind of gets me, like it makes me jump. So
Right.
that's one reason I don't like honestly scary movies. You know, like 'cause when we used to go watch them, like with the squad or whatever, like I'll be like this the whole time.
Yo, this man would have his cell phone, like he's watching a vlog or something.
Yeah, literally, I put my
What
phone
are you
right
doing?
there. I'm like, I'm not, and I'm literally wasting. And I only used to go because I want to like hang out with y'all, so I'll just pull up,
Yeah.
and go watch the movie. But yeah, I mean, like the movie, you gotta remember, like when I was in middle school, I used to YouTube a lot of conspiracy theories and like crazy stuff
Yeah,
on
likewise.
YouTube. This is when YouTube used to allow all this stuff. So now they don't really allow it as they used to before.
Yeah.
That has to be like censored to like you can't say certain words or whatever. So back then I used to be like really deep into it, and then like those videos lead to other videos, those videos lead to other videos. So like justice. I remember I used to be up from like 9-10 p.m. till like maybe 5 in the morning the next day just watching these videos, like
Yeah.
conspiracy theories, like Illuminati, all this crazy stuff.
Mhm.
So and then it leads to other like spiritual stuff too, like
Absolutely.
demons and stuff like that. So when I watch those things, and you gotta remember too, like my family's from Peru, and my grandma used to always say like, oh, I see people here. There's like a whole story about like somebody used to live in the room on the third floor, this and that. Like it's crazy stuff. So like I knew like this stuff is real.
Yeah.
So the main reason why I don't enjoy the scary movies, like maybe like other people do, because when people like it's a fake thing, da da da, I'm like, it's not fake because, and like I told you this before, like I don't enjoy it because since I've been through something like similar to what you see in like in this like Insidious,
Yeah.
like the Insidious movie.
Explain that. Like, what happened? Like, in your house that you said.
Está peligroso. No, so like, all right, in my house, this is why I'm always, and I was actually talking to my cousin about this the other day.
Yeah.
About secular music, because she's, her family's very religious too. So, this is a time, like, you probably remember, in my room, I don't really have a TV. My mom took my TV away a long time ago, so I don't have a TV. So what I used to always play was the radio. This is back in high school, so I used to play the radio all day from like, from the nighttime to like the morning, and turn it off when I go to school and turn it back on when I came home.
Yeah.
So, I remember I used to leave it on like 99 Jams or whatever, and they'll play music over nighttime, like when I'm sleeping.
Oh, okay.
So it's mainly hip hop, all those type of songs. So I remember like for a while, and you probably want to make this like a different, like to be continued, so this can go into the next part. That'll probably be lit, for the next week. But you still like put it in. So like pretty much the main thing was, so I would go to sleep in the house. So all right, I'm gonna start from square one.
Okay.
Let's start from the beginning, where me and my cousin come up with a conclusion that maybe this happened because um, someone we let them stay at our house probably did something and they left back to where they came from. So when my parents' house caught on fire, like, the first time, they we couldn't stay in the house. So because the
Yeah.
house, I think it took a year or so.
And I lost an Xbox.
Yeah, you lost the 360. That one had the Ring of Fire though already, so that one was dead anyways. But anyways,
Yeah. And real fire.
real fire.
Damn.
But I mean, like, so I remember this time like so clearly. So I remember we couldn't live in the house, so we were living in the apartments because my mom had to get apartments for us to stay in.
Oh, what's the name? Like, it was right over here, right? Like,
In front
by
of
Walmart. Yeah,
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 it was
yeah,
in front
yeah.
of Walmart. So we had to stay there. So my mom at that time was paying the mortgage and she was paying the apartments.
Yeah.
So at that time I was doing the sneaker events. At that time
Okay.
still, and I did my second sneaker event. So there's a lady that I forgot what the whole it was like. It was supposed to be like a presentation of something like a business. I honestly don't remember,
Okay.
and I could care less. But she invited this lady to come over to the States. She came from Mexico. She stayed here. She brought her son from Mexico. And they stayed here for I think like 3-4 days. No, I'm sorry, for like a week.
Hmm.
So my mom had rented a venue in Miami at that time to rented a venue in Miami. So this lady comes. I honestly don't even remember her face. I don't remember her name. I don't remember any of that stuff.
Hmm.
She came. This is when I had my white Dodge Neon.
Oh, that's
Remember the
crazy.
white Dodge Neon?
Yeah.
So she stays in the house. So we clean up the house. We let her stay there. She stayed in the back room where my room was. She stayed all the way
Yeah.
in the back. And yeah, I'm always nice. I'm like, hey, how are you? Da, da, da. So I remember one day my mom was like, oh, can you go to the house to drop off something? I think it was like the lady forgot her iPad in my mom's car. So I just took it to the house and dropped it off. So I go by and I drop it off. But since it's my house, I pretty much can go in there to grab a bottle of water if I want to,
Yeah.
because I'm not disturbing them. I'm just in the kitchen. So uh, the lady, I drop the lady off, I grab a water bottle, and I leave. Mind you, the house is cold. Like, I'm talking about, like, like here, right here, it's like 71.
Yeah.
They probably had the house like at 70. It was pretty cold inside. There's not many people, so it's really cold. So I go and grab a water bottle and I leave. And then the few days later, my mom was like, "Oh, can you pick them up and take them to Walmart, and then bring them back so they can, at least have some food to eat?" I was like, "Yeah, cool, no worries." I take them to Walmart, let them grab their food, take them back home, and then I drop off the lady. So I drop her off at the door. No, I drop her off. I help her bring the groceries in. Very quickly, I just like drop it at the door. She takes them in and whatever. And then I go back up to the door to go see if we can grab another water bottle. This is like a few days later, so I can get something to drink on the way back home. And then the lady goes like, "Oh, thank you." Like, "Oh, no, thank you. Don't worry about it." Like, pretty much closed the door on me. And then, but I also did not want to go inside the house because it felt kind of weird. For some reason, like I kind of got a weird vibe out of it. So I was like, I told my mom, I'm going to go home. So I get in my car, call my mom, like, "Hey, mom, like, just letting you know, I'm heading back home. I dropped them off. They're good. I just didn't want to go inside the house." So she was like, "Okay, no worries." Boom. She doesn't pay mind to it. I go home. I sleep, whatever. Then from there, I'm probably jumping like way ahead, but from there, the lady was staying there, and I guess they didn't get to do the event. I think something happened, like they couldn't do the event, so she went back to Mexico. So she stayed there. So I'm gonna leave that there. But the one in high school when I had like the radio on, because this is like when I was like 19, 20, when the lady came from Mexico. The one in high school was when I was sleeping. Remember I was telling you like, and Vic, he probably explained it what happened to him, like the sleep paralysis and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had pretty much the same thing. If you do research on it, you know what it is.
It's happened to me twice, I believe.
Yeah.
But that's it. Only twice, which is weird because, like, it happens, like like a lot, you know, to some people. Like it
Yeah.
happens like once a month or whatever, or once like every few
Yeah,
weeks. So it's
it's very
weird. It's only happened
consistent.
to me twice.
So for me, it happened to me. I think like consistently, like almost every other day.
Oh wow.
So if you go super like when you can't get up, you when you wake up you're tired, right? Because you're exhausted. You're like, damn, bro, like I'm
Yeah.
really like sluggish today, whatever. Because you have like a nightmare. That's what it is. So you're having a nightmare, like, oh damn, I can't get up. You wake up the next morning like exhausted, like you play like a football game. So I had a lot of those when I was in high school, when I was in sleeping, and and I had the same dream over and over. Like I was telling my cousin, I had the same dream over and over and over and over again.
About what?
So like I would pretty much it would be the same house. I wake up like it's like I'm actually like really waking out of the bed. Like I wake up, I go. You know how like my house was like the
Yeah.
kitchen and then the living room when you walk in. So I'll walk and I was like, oh, let me go say something to my mom. So I had to go to the side of the house to go tell her something. And then I walk over there, but for some reason I can't get through my mom's door. Even though it was open, I cannot like get through there for some reason. So by the time I pass the kitchen, I see like a black figure sitting down in that sofa in the living room. Like when you walk in on the right hand side.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting right there. So I turn around and I ask him like, hey, who are you? Like what are you doing here? But the house there was no lights on. It was just like dark, like only the kitchen oven light was on. So I asked him like, hey, what are you doing here? Like just stares at me and is like doesn't really say anything. And I'm asking like, hello, like what are you doing here? So it just continues to sit there, like the black figure just looking at me. And I'm like, are you like a family friend? Or are you like my mom's friend? Like who are you? And then nothing. Didn't answer me. So then I'll wake up.
Mm.
And that was like the first time. The second time, the same thing. Same thing happened. By like I think the fourth, maybe like seventh time, I started like getting mad. I was like, "Who are you?"
Like
Like,
yo, no funny shit. Who are you?
yeah, like bro, like who are you? Why are you in my crib? Like, why are you in my house? I'm not scared of you. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, are you trying to rob us? Because we already got the house was got broken into. Like when we
Oh
first
yeah,
moved
yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I think I
I thought it
remember.
was somebody like trying to rob us because it felt like I was really like
Ominous. It was just like a
like
dark
yeah, but I felt like I
feeling.
was really awake
Okay.
because the house was the same as like when I would wake up at night to grab water. It
Yeah.
was the same way. So even when I wake up to grab a water, it was the same thing. So I'd look over like, damn, why is this guy still sitting there? So when I had the conversation with my cousin, then I explained it to her and she was like, like that's really like that's not good. And I told her like I know. So and then my when I would go to sleep, I have those dreams. I have other dreams like me fighting. Like it was always like the world was already like destroyed. So it
Hmm.
was like the buildings were on fire. We were fighting. It's kind of like we're all like in combat pretty much. So I was always fighting like somebody in my dreams. So when I wake up, I'll be like sweating because I'll be exhausted. And then it came to a point where like I woke up like crying because I was like I can't do this anymore. Like I cannot have a good night's rest without me sweating or going through it during my dreams. And I wake up like super exhausted, like tired. Like you guys wouldn't know because I go to school. I'm like, oh, like hey, Jay, what's up?
Yeah.
So it was whatever. But in reality, like I wake up in the middle of the night, like drenched, like in sweat, because my whole dream was just me fighting, trying to get free, looking for like I'll look for everybody. Like I'll be fighting. I look for my mom. I'll look for like my stepdad. I'll look for you guys. I'll look for my cousin. I can't find anybody. Like I'll run to your guys' house pretty much in the
Mm.
dream. Like I knew where you lived. I knew where Les lived. So I'll run everywhere, but I could never make it to you guys in the dream. So I was always like, and to a point where like I got exhausted. I just wake up randomly and I'll be sweating. And then I had that dream like with the guy in the house. Um, and then the time that I had the last time I saw the person like sitting there was like when I woke up. Um, I was like damn. Like I look at the figure there. I was like, look, I'm not scared of you. This is God's house. I'm God's child. I'm his warrior. And then I woke up even more frantic. Like I woke up like crying, like if somebody like freaking, you know, like killed my family member type of thing. And I woke up, so my stepdad comes in the room, he's like, what happened? And then he saw like I already had taken off my shirt while I was sleeping, and I was sweating. My hair was wet, like
That's
completely.
crazy.
So like if I play basketball, pretty much, like my hair was wet, and he's like, what happened? And I was like, nah, I just had this dream, and you know, somebody was sitting in the living room area. They wouldn't move. It was like a full black figure, and well, obviously, come to find out, like it was like a dark spirit, like a you know, like an evil spirit.
A D word.
Yeah, pretty much in the house, and it was pretty much coming after me, in a sense, because I had like a weak. You know,
Soul
I probably had like I probably had like I was probably very weak or something, because I was also going through like, you know, I wasn't too happy, so I was like a lot of depression was into it too.
Yeah.
Like basketball was my therapy, but everything else I was going through, like school, relationship with my parents, like all that was like contributes to me being like depressed, which I think led to that being even worse. You know, so like that's what I say, like when I experience those things, like people be like, oh yeah, it's fake. I'm like, bro, it's not fake. It's real. People go through worse situations than I did, you know, and they probably want to look at a scary movie because it is real, bro. Like when you watch a scary movie, it brings that energy into your house, and that's why I don't watch that. Like even when I have my own house, when I have my own actual house, not like my condo I have now, I'm not watching any scary movies. Like unless it's like Scream, like Michael Myers, like that stuff is whatever. But like if it's gonna be like Insidious, where it deals like with, you know, like those evil spirits and stuff.
Yeah, the evil spirits.
Yeah, and like what's the other one? Paranormal Activity is not really like that.
Nun and all that.
Like yeah, like that stuff. Like
Conjuring, Annabelle.
Yeah, like all that's like real stuff. So like
those are pretty dark.
That's why like I don't find enjoyment out of it, because when you experience like going through like every single night,
it's exhausting, man.
It's exhausting. So like, you think I want to go? It's not like going to Disney. It's not like you're having fun. You're like really going through it, and it's like a battle.
Yeah, exactly. And it's even harder because like, you know, you're hardly freaking sleeping, so it means like you're just on like E.
Yeah.
You know, always sleepy and drained. You know, and that's what's happened to me. Like as I was explaining to him, like it was like you know, early this year in the house in Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Like it was random because like, you know, it's like horror is normal to me. You know, I've never had issues like you know, like horror movies, like it's just lights off, like, you know, and Home Alone, like, you know, I'd watch them,
right?
No issue, and sleep like a baby. You know what I'm saying? But it was like it happened like for a few months, man, where it's just like I hardly slept. Like, you know, it it's just hard to sleep. Like, you know, if it's night out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it just felt like weird in the room, man. Like it's hard to explain because it's almost like is it real? Right. Like, you know, or it's all in my head.
Right.
But it was so weird because, you know, like it was hard to sleep in the house, and I would head home, out of freaking Bronx, lights out, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, and it's like, oh, what's happening in the house? But it's not happening here. You know what I'm saying? Which is so weird. Because like, you know, it's not like the Bronx is mad peaceful. You know what I'm saying?
That's not peaceful at all.
It's like mad sirens outside and loud music, you know, and all that. And shut up, bitch. Fuck you. And you hear a slap. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I was just sleeping like it's mad regular. You know what I'm saying? Mad noise, bro. Like at 7 a.m. at all hours. You just hearing that. But like, yo, you crazy right now? Like some crazy stuff. But like, you know, it was just so weird, man. And I don't know, it be hitting me, and it's like, what was in this house? You know what I'm saying? In my room.
Especially in Connecticut, where like homes are like much older. So that's
way older.
That's why, like, you know, and since you like being in the woods and stuff like that, you know how people probably got smoked in that area?
Smoked.
Because, you know, they probably got smoked. Probably. That's the thing too, you know.
Could have happened, you know.
But
old place.
but you gotta think about it too. Like, it depends who you invite into your home too. Some people bring very like dark energy into your home. So
Yeah,
like that's why
that's true.
my mom is always like, growing up, she was like, you can't just bring anybody to the house. You have to let me know who you bring,
Yeah,
because, and I'm a big believer in that now too. Is, your house is like kind of like your temple, like your sanctuary. So like
yeah.
whoever you bring into is like they're bringing their energy into your home.
Hmm.
You know, and like I was telling you, like the Mexican lady that was at her house, when she left, I remember she got a message from the lady and she was like, "Oh, can you go pick up the tablet? Can you? No, I'm sorry. Can you go check if the tablet? They left their iPad
Yeah,
and
and drop it off. You mean?
no, no, no. So they already had left.
Hmm.
They're already back in Mexico, but looks like her son forgot his tablet again
Okay.
and left it in the back room. So, um, mind you, nobody was living in the house. The house was
Hmm.
empty.
Yep.
So I go into the back room, and then bro, the rest of the house was like, it was chilly, but that room was like super cold. So
It was just like a weird, like what's happening? Like,
yeah,
cause it's only at like 70,
yeah.
but it's like brick in
It was
here.
like super cold. So I go into the room and I'm looking for the tablet in
Hmm.
the room. And then look for the tablet and I thought somebody was in the house. Like I thought somebody broke into the house
Really?
again. And I'm like, damn, bro, I have to fight somebody. So I'm in the house, I'm like standing there and I checked the bathroom door because that bathroom door that leads outside. So I checked the bathroom
Yeah.
door to see like if they broke in through that door and they're probably in the house trying to look for something. I mean, there was nothing in the house because obviously everything in the house was already contaminated with the fire. So I'm like, damn, somebody's in the house. I don't want to turn around. They're probably where my old room,
Mm.
because they're probably looking around and they probably stopped. And I'm gonna turn
Yeah.
around, and they're gonna be like right behind me. So I was shook, and but I didn't hear any footsteps. But
Right.
I felt somebody
Yeah,
was
you
there.
felt something, man. It's a
So
feeling
so I
for
was like,
sure.
damn. So I'm looking for the tablet, and I find a tablet. So I text my mom, I'm like, hey mom, like I found a tablet. It's here. I sent her a picture of it so she can send it to the lady. And then while I'm there, I'm like, I felt like such a cold like feeling that around my neck that I did not want to like turn around because I was really like scared, like scared. Like if I turn around, I probably would like crap myself, bro. Like I promise
Yeah.
you, I was that scared. Like if it's a real person, I don't mind like fighting the person, like it's
Yeah. It
whatever.
is what it
But
is.
like I didn't know what was behind me, but it felt like I'm like 5'11" ish. The person who I felt like was behind me was like 6'5", like a huge person.
Really.
So I was like, damn, bro. If I turn around, like I could probably like elbow them in the neck or something like that if it's a real person. But I would hear a 6'5" person pull up behind me if you're like 200 something pounds. I hear you like clearly. It's like a wrestler.
Right.
And from that room to that room is not really much. So um, I went like this with my hand, like to touch behind me to see if somebody was behind me, and nobody was behind me. So I was like, all right, I'm chilling, bro. But then I was scared still to turn around. I
Yeah.
didn't want to turn around. So I started shaking. I was shaking. I hold the tablet and I was like this, like not shaking like that, but I was like very timid. Like I was like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
I got nervous. So and I texted her. I was like, wow. I was like, I think somebody's in the house.
Mm.
So I'm like, I think somebody's in the house. And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, because I feel like I heard something. I don't know. And when the house is empty, you can hear everything, like an echo, from a footstep, whatever. So I'm just like, damn, bro. And I'm standing there and I'm just like, all right. Um, I was like, I got the same feeling of being afraid like when I had in my dreams in high school.
Okay.
So when I got that same feeling of being that scared, I was like, I need to do something, and nothing stronger than scripture. So, um, but at that time, I didn't really know any verses or
Yeah.
anything like that because I
Just
wasn't.
make something up.
Yeah, I wasn't like that. But the first thing I said was, you know, I remember I was there and I was like, I looked down because I was so scared to even look up. Like
Yeah.
that's how scared I was. And I usually don't really get scared like that if I'm like in person.
Right.
So I look up and I look down and I'm just like I just said like I'm not scared of you. So whoever you are, like get out of my house. Um, I was like this is God's house and I was like God's child and I'm wearing God's armor. Like, I'm not scared of you. And I still couldn't move. And I just kept saying it over and over again. I was like, I'm God's child. I'm not scared of you. You need to leave my house now. And then I turn around. Like, I got the balls to turn around, like the strength to turn around, and I cleared it. I just ran out the house. I grabbed the tablet. He was like, and I'm like running out the maldito tablet, bro. And I'm like running out the house. I locked the door. I'm like, I'm never going back in there again, bro.
Yeah.
I locked the house. I told my mom, I was like, that room back there is like super cold. I felt like somebody was in that room or something like that. She kind of brushed it off. And I was like, I don't know what it is, but I felt like somebody was in that room. It creeped me out completely. Here's your damn. I got pissed at my mom. I was like, here's a damn tablet. Like, I don't know why you sent me in the damn house. Like, I was mad.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was so scared that I was mad.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I ran out the house. I literally, like, ran out, locked the door so quickly, jumped in my little Dodge Neon and cleared it.
Skirt.
And I cleared it. I went straight back to the apartment.
Yeah.
And I gave the tablet to my mom. And I was like, don't ever send me there again. She was like, why are you mad? I was like, don't ever send me there ever again. You don't understand. Like, somebody was in the house or something like that. And I left.
Yeah, man. And it's hard because it's almost like it's hard to like, explain the feeling. Like, yo, this is like real. Like it's almost like it's real and it's not real.
Right.
Like, and it's hard to explain. Like, yo, like I'm not playing around.
Right.
Like,
Right.
like it's a feeling.
Yeah. It's like
what I'm
your
saying?
nerves go, like, your hair stands up. It's like.
Exactly. And that shit, like, is not random either. It's real. Like,
Right.
because humans, like, we're animals. You know what I'm saying? And if it ever happens with you, it's like it's a reaction.
Right.
Like, to something. Like,
Yeah.
like whether you see it or not.
Yeah.
But it's a reaction.
People are going to say, like, oh, it's all mental. And I'm like, it's not. Like, when you get scared, you get scared. Like, what's your biggest fear? Like, for example, your biggest fear would probably be like, oh, I'm scared of heights. When you're scared of heights, what are you going to do when you get there? You're going to be, like, shaking because you're nervous and you do want to look down, right? But it's mental, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental thing too. But you're automatically scared. So, for example, my biggest fear isn't really that. Honestly, my biggest fear really isn't that, but I was scared. It's like saying, like, you're walking. Let's say you go to a country. Some people go to a random country. Some people get scared because they get lost.
Yeah.
They start panicking, right? Same thing goes with this type of thing. Like, if you can't explain, like, I can't explain the feeling, because I've never been in any other situation that made me feel like that.
Right.
That people can probably relate to. But if people have probably gone through that, then they can probably be like, yeah, I feel what you're saying.
Facts.
So for number one key thing, don't listen to secular music when you're going to sleep.
No, that's a fact.
Because that really probably was a factor into what I felt in high school.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I think it's you just can't be playing with that, bro. It's not fun. The music industry makes that so, like, try to make it so normal, and it's
so regular, but it's really not.
It's not.
We could wrap it up, like, right here, because
Mm-hmm.
this one's short. But say the one of the shorty, like, at the house, who was, like, watching a horror movie as she knocked out, and then her, like, mom, like, heard something, or something like that. Remember?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna make it like.
Yeah, you can shorten it.
So yeah, pretty much. So somebody I know.
Mm-hmm.
They told me their story. Okay, they were watching, like, a scary movie. That person fell asleep, and they live in a 2-story home. I think the parent fell asleep. No, I'm sorry, my bad. That person fell asleep. The parent was in their room, just chilling. She was watching a scary movie, and the parent asked the person, like, hey, were you walking in the kitchen or, like, something in the house? Like, were you walking? And I guess, like, later when she came down, she realized that she was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And I think her husband, the parent, like, the husband wasn't there, so I think it was only her and the child. So when she asked, the child was like, "No, I wasn't walking." She's like, "Yeah, but I heard footsteps, like light, like tap, like very light footsteps." And I guess the parent got mad. She's like, you shouldn't be watching any scary movies, and told her the reasons because they're very religious. So told her the reasons why you shouldn't. And you gotta think about it too. Like you gotta think about it like this. When you, and I think this is like super fact. When I start going to church again, like I think this is like a main thing. Is when you're trying to build a relationship with God. I think you're trying to build that relationship, or anybody in your household is trying to build that relationship. The devil will always come after you because it's like saying like they're stealing you away
Yeah,
from him.
basically.
So God is calling his children. So when you're trying to go the right way, the right path, you're always going to be attacked with different energies and be attacked with different like pleasures. It'd be financially or any bad deed or sin that you want or that you're doing. The devil will always try to get you on his side. So when you try to do really good things is when the really bad things will happen to you.
Right.
So it's God's test to see like, hey, will you still believe in me that I will guide you to where you need to get to? So I think it falls into place when it's spiritual warfare that you don't really see when you're at home. So you could be easily trying to enjoy something that's probably not the best for you to consume, and somebody else is in the household that is on a complete opposite end of that.
Mm-hmm.
So when the child told me, it was like I was like, damn, like that's crazy. Like I would be fully creeped out if I'm in my crib and then I hear random footsteps. I'll be like super creeped out. I'll be like, yeah.
Whatever it is you just said, I feel that.
Yeah,
We could wrap it up here, man. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for
yes,
like really being here.
No,
it was
for
hard,
sure.
man. Like for weeks, I think months.
No, yeah, look,
We've been asking you to be here, but
yeah.
All right, man. Much love.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate it. All right.